I never knew I could be so moved by such artful photography of wood scraps and chemical-laced construction materials in my life. Of the evening setting sun caressing the form and shape of a old aluminum stepladder. That's the power of filmmaking. We just created art today, people. I kind of dropped off the face of the earth for I don't know how long. I don't even want to know. I'm sorry. I'm here now. That's what matters. What's been keeping me busy is two things. I've started working again, which is cool and exciting, a little bit weird because I hadn't worked since March. Also, I've been busy with this. Like YouTube, you already know what this is all about because you've seen the thumbnail. With YouTube, you're not allowed to have any mystery. You're only allowed to have clickbait. This is also a test in filming up here to see what kind of sound. I was hoping it would just be like nature sounds and I would seem like some in touch with nature artist or something, but really it's just road noise and airplanes. I work from home normally, so I'm home a lot, but you know, having the kids home indefinitely, I kind of miss that 6-hour break when they're at school where I can get so much work done. I love my kids, but it is constant distraction. It sort of inspired me to build a space up in our property that I can escape to and just get work done. And it's sort of off limits during a certain time of day. And then also just a place to hang out and get away from the house. It's also, I think, pretty healthy for our kids to have their own little space when they need it. Children, keep working. Rye straw. Does it work? So it's cool. It's going to be off-grid completely. So it'll have solar panels. And then I'm also doing a lot of research into these things called solar furnaces, collecting the heat and pumping that into the building. This is the space. In my region in Canada, we're allowed a certain square footage to build without a permit. And that's like a shed. You can build a backyard shed without a permit. So that's really what this is a glorified shed. And I'm like bang on the limit just to give myself enough working space. And I'm zoned agricultural, so I can build practically as high as I want. There is a limit, but it's so far above what I would ever build this for. So that's why this building is so tall. I talk a lot about creating space time-wise for creativity and to sort of like develop your own way of thinking. And so this is sort of like the extreme version of that, to create a literal physical space that is off the grid, secluded, that I can just go to and probably be more productive in 2 hours than I could in 2 days with constant distraction. I'm interested to see how it goes because I won't have internet up here. I'm thinking that might be a really awesome experiment. I can tether with my phone, but I'm almost kind of curious to just see how it goes without. The other thing I'm doing is I've kept track of all of my expenses, and all my expenses are relative to where I am in the world. I'll make sure I share those maybe at the end of this. This is going to be 2 videos. This is sort of like the midway of construction. My literal list of every material I used. I'm trying to be as resourceful as possible. So the biggest expense is the sliding door. That's the only window I had to buy. There's a lot of expenses that I skipped, but that's just part of being resourceful and keeping things cheap. If you don't have windows laying around, I know a lot of people don't, just try to be as scrappy as you can. In Canada, we have a store called the Restore. A lot of like old windows there you can buy really cheap. It's kind of interesting to see what you have, design around it, see how affordably you can do something when you do it yourself. Eventually down the road, my dream is to build my own house, design it myself, know what I'm looking for, and then build it. And something like this is really great to mess up on before you're building a house or doing something crazy. Click the like button, the subscribe button. There's a bell icon that people tell me to click on all the time, but apparently it does something when you do it.
Tree.